Hi guys. Just a few quick words because I don't want to bore you too much. But I just wanted to make a few comments, especially as some people have asked me about this yesterday. So, well, first I'm probably going to do more and more audio recordings that I'm going to put on YouTube because the information that I receive is so fast that by the time I type it, it's almost out of date, so to speak. So I find perhaps speaking allows me to say more in a way, and perhaps the voice conveys more as well. I'm still going to continue with the writing stuff, but perhaps more audio. Because some people seem to like the audio as well a bit more. It makes it feel perhaps more real to them, and they seem to relate a bit better to hearing somebody speak. Okay, so first about the content of the messages, I kind of touched on that in my previous recording and the last article I wrote, is that after the 21st of December, you see, I've agreed to not channel really as such anymore. I might still do a bit with SaLuSa, or if needed, perhaps once a month, or if you have something to say really. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let them approach me if they need to convey a message that's important. Whereas in the past year, I rather sat down and asked to contact SaLuSa and to give a message. But the feedback from SaLuSa, and actually, funny enough, I happened to read for the first time in 2 years my Quincy's message of yesterday, and he did confirm that in the first 2 lines, is that the fact that SaLuSa feels that he wishes that she wishes to do less channeling work with us. And the reason for that is because we're going to, actually it's not only SaLuSa, but all of my contacts say the same. Even the Aurora project has stopped, and the reason for that is that there seems to be a will from upstairs or above that people don't so much rely on channel messages as they previously have, but rather turn within and listen to their own, whatever you want to call it, inner guidance, higher self, source. You know, we can all directly get in touch with source. We don't need really an intermediary, such as angel, higher masters, ascended masters, galactic beings, whatever. We can all have access to that information directly ourselves, and that would avoid a lot of the emotional dramas and squeamishes, stories about, wrong messages being passed around or coming from Ford, as Ford being the entity with not so good intentions and so forth, or messages that might be somehow interfered with, even, at some level by the channeler's mind or will. So what they would like to see, and this is why, is more of us to actually make contact with our higher self. Now, I know this is a kind of a theory for many of us, and it's difficult to distinguish between the real higher self or the imagination of being in contact with the higher self. So that's a whole journey of discovering that we're going to have to go through, and being less spoon-fed in a way by the ascended masters, and that we have to go and really get that information for ourselves directly from source. So this is a new kind of step for us. But however, I am taught that this is more and more possible now because of this whole process that we've been going through for the last, a year or so, since really 11/11, where everything has been speeding up for us progressively, and probably what happened last week on the 21st of December is going to be sort of really the door shutting down on 3D, but in a slow, progressive way. So, and I feel the income and input of energy since the 21st of December hasn't decreased actually. It sort of keeps being really high intensity and speed of downloading information from the stars, the cosmos, source, whatever you want to call it. So I find that I'm getting loads of information and feedback constantly, even more than before. There has been some increases in the past few months, going through periods where the planets are going forward and they're in a kind of good aspect formation for us to receive much more information. However, from now on, really, it's going to be easier for us to discern messages, to receive our own messages, even if we don't need to share them, even to keep them for us, keep them for our hearts, and just to guide our own lives, really, our own steps. And I also receive quite a lot during dreams, or just while I do something else, I watch TV or go on the computer. There's a part of me that's open to this higher way of communication, you know. So it's something that we're going to have to play with and experiment with, and you know, keep an open mind for. But really, before you're sure that it's coming from the source, so to speak, make sure you sit with any information for maybe a few minutes, days, hours, and that you verify it for yourself, with yourself several times, that it makes sense and that it's of course for the best and higher good and positive and light source, you know. So that's really all I wanted to say, and just wanted to convey the fact that lots of downloads and energy are still speeding up for us, and we're certainly continuing this process of awakening and of the DNA of awakening, of reactivating all the dormant parts of our genes or the dormant parts of our brain, because we only use about 10% or even less of our brain possibilities. So all this is being reactivated right now as we speak, either by the energies that come directly from the cosmos or by higher forces at play that we don't necessarily see. We can feel them, and in layman's terms we can call them galactic forces or influences, ascended masters, angels, guardian angels. They all help us to evolve into what we're meant to be, really, either in sleep or while awake. And somebody asked me also yesterday if I believed in angel. Absolutely, yes, I do. And they might not necessarily look like we see them, you know, with little white wings and all this. They might be, and a little aura above their head. But I'm sure they're more like, some of them, energy orbs or energy light sources. And they can also, I'm sure, take whatever form they wish, and take maybe perhaps even form that we can physically see sometimes. And this is all part of the process of the ascension, that we come in contact with them and see them and really see all those higher beings who are around us and protect us. And I have had, I'm sure of it. I mean, I know it, and I've had proof of it, and I verified this in many ways. As did so many people who had maybe near-death experiences. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much. Bye.